I'm Tass Mellis of The Starters.
This is Ben Golliver with the Open Floor Podcast.
Hi, I'm Kristen Ludlow from NBA Inside Stuff.
I'm OG Anunoby of the Toronto Raptors.
Hey, I'm Elena Donan, and welcome to the Double Clutch.
Double Clutch.
Double Clutch
Podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, basketball fans of all ages, welcome to a very special episode of the Double Clutch podcast. My name is Huw Hopkins, and today we're going to be sharing an interview with the NBA legend that is Hakeem Olajuwon. He was announced as one of the top 50 players of all time by the NBA in 1996, but in truth, he probably finished his career in the top 10 players of all time. He was drafted number 1 in 1984, ahead of a guy named Michael Jordan. You might have heard of him. And Hakeem's career, it lived up to the hype. He was one of the most unguardable centers ever and led the Houston Rockets to 2 straight championships in 1994 and 1995. And in doing so, he destroyed some of the best big guys ever, including David Robinson and Shaquille O'Neal. And we talk a little bit about that in this interview. And if you don't know what I'm talking about when I say that he was using his patented Dream Shake, then just Google it. That he had some of the greatest moves to ever grace the basketball court. We had the opportunity to talk to Hakeem at his summer basketball camp, which is run in partnership with the City of Birmingham Basketball Club. We spoke about a range of subjects, including his playing days and also what he thinks of the new look Houston Rockets featuring the pairing of Russell Westbrook and James Harden. But without further ado, here is my conversation with Hakeem the Dream Olajuwon. This is the 4th year of the camp. How proud are you to have this camp every year?
Well, every year it's getting better. And the organization, as you know, the Rob and Kirk, their vision. You're as good as your team.
Yes.
You know, they make things so smoothly where when I come up, I'm so happy to see how organized they are.
So I have to ask, why Birmingham? You know, because loads of players come over to London, and you know, a lot of players go over to other areas in Europe. Some even go to Scotland because it's a big country up there. But why would you like to host your camp every year in Birmingham?
Well, my daughter, got accepted to the university here, so we moved the whole family here. Then I met Rob and Kirk, and from there, we want to do as much as we can to develop here.
So you gave your name to the camp to a generation of, some of these are 10, 11, 12 years old. Some of them are 18, 19. A lot of them, they won't have ever heard of Hakeem Olajuwon. So how do you interact with the children? How do you sort of say, I've got something to teach you, especially during a time when most kids want to dribble and shoot like Stephen Curry? What do you have to offer to these young kids?
Well, the basketball fundamentals. You have the experience. You've played in the highest level in the NBA. So, and my game and my moves are not traditional. It's good as for guards, for forwards, for center. In fact, it's difficult for center to use my moves. My moves really from the guards. I borrow my move from the guards. So today's game is what I love, where I was prevented, where I can't shoot threes, go inside, but you still get a chance to manage to mix it up. So when I see today's kids, you give them the fundamentals that dribble is to go somewhere. Not just fancy dribbling, to be effective, and also the shooting the range, where you can build your range but start closer, good form, then move out. So you just give them the basic fundamentals, which is all in basketball.
And a lot of big men these days, like you said, they do stretch outside a little bit more. You have players like Karl Anthony Towns, and you have players like Anthony Davis.
Yeah.
So do you think you could have played well during this current era of basketball?
For me?
Yeah.
The game in basketball is easy if you have the skills. Inside game is an advantage. The advantage is still there today. So not too many players taking advantage of that. My vision of basketball, the guard, even guard, if you have an advantage, you can post up as a guard. You can see like Kyrie, beautiful post moves. So my vision of my game is inside, outside basketball. Take advantage of opportunity. If you're bigger than me, I take it from outside. If I'm bigger, I post you up. So my game today is it's easier today than even when I was playing.
So when you were playing, that was the era of the dominant big man.
Yes.
And in I think it was 1995, you had 2 back-to-back series in the playoffs in 1995 it was David Robinson first, and then it was Shaquille O'Neal. So how did it feel like going up against 2 of arguably the greatest big men of all time, along with yourself, of course?
I mean, when you play against those guys, and when I look at my schedule for the year, I look, Shaq, David, Patrick, I have to make sure I get my rest. Because those guys, they are the pillars of their team. They go to them a lot, the shot blockers, the dominant big men. So it's a battle. You have no advantage. You're playing against guys that can do everything that you can do. And they are the most important pillar of their team. So when you play against them, just battle. So I was very blessed and fortunate to have played against all of those, my contemporaries at that time. In 1996, against Jabbar, then Patrick, then David, then Shaq. So I got a chance to face the toughest challenge, which was a great experience for me.
And you spent the majority of that time, the majority of your career, with playing with the Houston Rockets. And they've been sort of in the news quite a bit recently. They've, of course, got Russell Westbrook now. So what do you make of this new guard pairing for the Rockets?
Well, I think, I love Chris Paul. Don't get me wrong. But when I heard the news about, Westbrook, and I'm one of the biggest fans of Westbrook. I like his game a lot. I like his explosiveness, his aggressiveness, mid-range shots. I was very happy. I know they have a very good relationship with James Harden. I think that should be a wonderful combination.
And a little bit about the national team, because of course you played in the 1996 Olympics, and that was considered sort of Dream Team 2. Now, this year they're going into the World Cup and they're struggling to attract some of the top talent. So I just wondered what your feelings were about playing for the US national team. How important was that to you?
Well, it was an honor, because as you know, basketball in the US, so many players, great players, and to be one of the few that was chosen. So you feel honored in that sense. But once you've done it once or twice, maybe some of these guys get tired, they need their time. I can understand that.
Yeah.
Give somebody else a chance. But in the US, there's so many players. You're not missing. We can go with 10 different teams that will win it. So that's how deep, how resourceful the US is.
I wanted to sort of segue slightly into British basketball a little bit, because of course there are a lot of British basketball players here today, and you've seen some of them for 4 years in a row now. I saw you saying hello to some of the regular players for each camp.
Sure.
So how, if some of these players end up playing on the national team or professionally, what do you think is the future for British basketball as well?
Well, I think the popularity of the game, basketball sells itself, and it's still surprising to me that it's not really the way it should be in the UK. But the players that play, they get attached. There's passion, and it's forcing the government to see the potential of that sport. So they have to embrace it and promote it more.
And I guess I'll just finish on this one, but Birmingham basketball, this camp has been going for 4 years. What do you see a future for this camp to keep returning to Birmingham and to the UK?
Well, because we're here, Rob has been trying to take it to different part of Europe. Yeah. So I've been kind of restricting it to over here, so we can discuss that in the future.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you very much. Thanks for your time. It was a short episode this week, but I think you'll agree that it was a good one. I want to say a big thanks to Hakeem Olajuwon for taking the time out of his basketball camp to talk to us at Double Clutch, and of course the City of Birmingham Basketball Club for allowing us to take part. We will be back soon with more NBA and WNBA content, but if you're like us and you can't wait for the season to get started, why not head over to the nbastore.eu to pick up your favourite player's new jersey with an extra 15% discount off that purchase by using the code DCPOD15. That's DCPOD15, and make sure you check in with us on all social channels at Double Clutch UK. Peace.